Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is MSA if you're new. So today I'm going to be reviewing this new palette by Hindash called Beautopsy. If you don't know who Hindash is, you need to go look him up, follow him on YouTube, on Instagram. He is an amazing makeup artist based in Dubai. And before he became a makeup artist, he was actually a painter. So he used to have his artwork exhibited in lots of different art galleries. I believe he did a lot of black and white beauty photographs. So he's come out with this beautiful pressed pigment palette. As you can see, this is very different in that the colors are put in a gradient from dark to light, and you don't see this in eyeshadow palettes, which I loved, and I think this is drawing from his experience as a painter. I love the way this is set out because it gives you so much more control with colors, and you can combine the different shades to create new colors, and because it's pressed pigment, everything just blends in so beautifully. I have been really impressed with this. I've been playing with this all week and I'm still so excited. So that's when I know that I have a new favorite palette. What I also love about this is that as a dark skin girl, I have got a bronzer to a contour in this, and also that black color. I can actually get an eyeliner out of it if I wanted to, and I could create a black smoky eye as well, which is nice. Plus you get these two colors which work fantastically as blush colors. That pink is beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I like the fact that if you're a person that's more into your neutrals, obviously you've got this brown, you've got this shade which is like more like a light brown color, and that blends into a gray, and then you've also got tan, which is a beautiful light brown, which I've got mostly on my inner eyelids. I was a bit nervous when I saw this color because I wasn't sure if the color payoff was going to be intense enough on my skin tone, but look at it, it looks really good. So I think Hindash has smashed it with this palette. It retails for 59 euros, I believe, and I had it shipped to the UK, so I paid an extra, I think it's about 15 euros or so on postage, so it came to about 64 pounds. And I think for a palette like this, 64 pounds for pressed pigment, it's worth it, because this is something I could see myself using for years. And I love the fact it's cardboard packaging, it's super light, and look how thin this is. I'll try and get this on its side. So if you were traveling with this, it does not take up a lot of room. So if you want to learn how I created this look, please keep on watching, and I'll be talking a bit more about the colors as I use them. First things first, let's prime the lid. So I'm just going to be applying some concealer, and this is a Real Techniques brush. I believe it is a deluxe concealer brush to be exact. And to make sure that does not crease, I'm just going to set that with a little bit of translucent powder and a fluffy brush. The first thing I'm going to do is create my transition color. So I'm going to use the shade Intra, and this is a MAC 224 brush, and I'm just going to apply that in the area in between my main eyelid and my brow bone. I have literally been playing with this palette all week and really impressed with it. I find that the colors blend really well together, and you can just layer it and it never looks patchy, which is wonderful. And there's not a lot of fallout in the pan as well. Sorry, you can see that. So I've just put my brush in, and usually for a lot of palettes that are very pigmented, you would have seen a lot of fallout, but really there is very little fallout in this. I'm also going to put some of that shade on the outer third of my eye as well. Before I forget, I'm just going to put some translucent powder down as a guard. I completely forgot to do this before I started. I just want to protect the rest of my face. Then to blend out that brown color, I'm going to use the shade Feel, and this is a MAC 217 brush. And I'm just going to put it right on the edge of Intra just to blend it out so it's nice and diffuse. Then next, I'm going to use the shade Fatum, which is the black shade. It is actually a true black. It almost looks dark brown, but it is black. I'm using a Morphe brush, this little fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to accentuate the outer third of my eye and also bring this color up towards my crease, because we're going to be doing a half cut crease, so I just want to define the crease as much as possible. Wow, that's pretty good pigmentation. Then to blend out that black color, I'm using that initial MAC 224 brush I used to apply the brown. There's no extra product on it, so I'm just going to very lightly sweep that over the edge of the two colors to blend them in together. So it's time to cut the clip. It's time to cut my crease, so I'm using the P. Louise Eye Base. This is in the shade Rumor 5, and I'm using just a flat shader brush by the Body Shop. It's got a nice thin edge to it. I'm going to put some, first of all, just on my upper eyelid and look all the way up, and then that gives me a guide as to where I need to go to cut my crease. And once it's on, I'm just going to use my fingers to blend out the sort of the outer edge of it so that it blends into the eyeshadow that I've already put down. You just don't want a big clump of concealer sitting there. It just won't blend really well after you put the eyeshadows on. And just to ensure that there's no creasing, I'm just going to put in a little bit of translucent powder on that concealer again. I don't know, I find that this concealer does crease a little bit on me. I know some people use it and they never set it and it's fine, but on me I have noticed that it does crease, so I'm not sure why. If anyone knows why, let me know please. Then I'm going to use a flat shader brush and apply the color Tan onto the inner part of my upper eyelids. I'll be honest, I was very intimidated by this color when I first saw it, because on dark skinned people, colors that are that light can just look really ashy, but it doesn't. It's just quite neutral and I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite colors in this palette. Then the next color I'm going to go in with is Feel again, and I'm just using a flat shader brush to put that right next to Tan, and I'm just going to pat that on. Wow, so beautiful, that blend. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of that tan color just over the two colors and just patting it in just so that the two colors blend well together. And then back in with the color Intra and a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to put that right on the outer third of my eye. And I'm just going to go back and forth through those three colors to just blend them all in together. And then back in with a little bit more of the black color just into that outer third to accentuate it just a little bit more. That is looking fierce, liking this. Okay, I think it's time for some eyeliner and lashes. So I'm going to go do that off camera and I will be right back. Lashes are on. I'm just going to get rid of all this excess powder that I put underneath my eyes. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with the shade Intra and just a Morphe blending brush. I'm going to just sweep that underneath my entire lower line. I'm just going to sweep that underneath my eyes, what I'm trying to say. I actually find it really hard to talk and do things at the same time, so that's why my speech is often may seem a bit garbled as I do this, but just know your girl is trying. I am trying. I'm just joining that up a little bit with my upper lash line as well. Then to define my lower lash line a little bit more, I'm using an angled brush. This is by Eco Tools. I'm just dipping that into the black eyeshadow and I'm just going to press that right on my lash line. And it has the same effect as you using eyeliner pencil. But I'm actually going to use a little bit more of that color anyways and just smoke out the outer third of my lower lash line, and it just joins up with what I've done on the upper lash line. Now this week I did try to do one of Hindash's signature looks where he does the very lifted eyeliner, and I tried it like 3 or 4 times, but it did not suit my eye shape because I just have a huge eyelid space, so that's why I went for the half cut crease. I wish that look suited me, but that's okay. We just did Hindash MSA style. Smokiness. I love a good smoky eye. It's one of my favorite ways to wear makeup. I'm using a MAC 221 brush, the color Feel, and I'm just going to use that to blend out right the lower edge of the dark brown color. Then I'm going to use the color Lines, which is like this white color. This is a Real Technique fine detailer brush. Oh, a bit nervous. I hope this works. Just to highlight my inner tear duct. I'll be honest, that color did not show up as brightly as what I thought it would, but that's okay. That's why we try things out. I think I'm going to go over that with a gold highlighter in a minute. So I'm just going to put on some mascara now. For highlighter, I'm using the Maybelline. This is the Master Chrome highlighter. This is the color Molten Gold. And just popping that on that same Real Technique fine detailer brush. Yeah, I think I'm preferring this as a highlighter color. So now I'm going to use the palette to contour my face. So I'm just using, this is a Crown C529 brush. I'm going sort of in between those two dark shades, so Infra and Fatum. Just popping a little bit on my brush and just taking that down the sides of my nose. And that's pretty good. I'm liking that contour color. And just going to build that up very, very slowly. Then for contouring of my cheeks, I'm going to do the exact same thing, just putting that brush right in the middle of those two colors. It's not bad. I would say this is more of a bronzer, so there's warmth there, but you can contour it. So if I went and added a little bit more black or even a little bit of that gray, I'll get more of a cooler tone color, but I just want a bit of the warmth. Oh, look at that. That's nice. And it just blends so beautifully. I really have not had to do much of, I haven't really had to layer this a lot. So that just tells you that this is good pigmentation. Hindash, well done. And it's so rare that you find a palette that you can do eyeshadow, you can do blush with this, and you can contour. I'm just going to do the angle of my jaw as well. So it's highlight, I'm using the exact same highlighter and just putting that on the high points of my face. To line the outer part of my lips, I'm using MAC lip pencil. This is the color Chestnut. Then for the inner part of my lips, I'm using another pencil by MAC. This is in the shade Stripped Down. I'm actually running out of this pencil because I love it so much. Then I'm just layering some lip gloss on top of it. This is NYX Butter Gloss. This is the shade Praline. I'm focusing this color more on the outer part of my lips because I'm going to put a lighter color in the middle. Then I'm using this shade, this is Fortune Cookie, in the middle. I'm liking this. Yes. And then for blush, I'm going to use the shade Kills, which is just this beautiful orange shade. Orange on dark skin is just magic. Love it. And I think that's one of the reasons Hindash put this color in the palette, was to cater to dark skin tones, which I think is lovely because you don't always see that in a lot of palettes. Now for this color, I do feel I need to build it up a little bit to get the intensity, but that's not a bad thing. Because the one thing is with blush, you can overdo it if you go in really heavy-handed, and I'm happy to just build that up gently. And it's subtle, it's not too much. Oh, I'm loving this look. And I'm just going to put in a little bit more highlighter. I really should just put my highlighter on at the end. I really should. It's just a habit. Okay, as usual, to finish off my face, I'm just going to spray it with some fixing spray. So that is the look done, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I feel really, really good, and I'm excited. You can tell I'm smiling, so I think this means this is a good palette to get. So my final thoughts on this palette: I think the colors are beautiful. The payoff was really good, except for this color, that's Lions, which is almost like a pure white. I think I would need a really light base underneath before I put that color on for it to show up. But I do think, because it's a pure white, I could mix it in in with all the other colors to lighten them up a little bit. So I think I just need to play a little bit more just to figure out how to use that shade. But I'm very, very happy with the fact that I got eyeshadows out of this, blushes, and a contour shade. That is pretty amazing. Obviously, I didn't play with these two colors, so the next time I create another look with this palette, I definitely want to try out these two. Yeah, I think it's just different. We've never seen an eyeshadow palette like this before. So this is something new, and I really hope that in Hindash's future releases, he comes out with some colors. So like, I would love to see jewel tone colors, because I love like my dark reds, dark blues, topazes, for example, sapphire colors. I think that would be amazing in a gradient. So I really look forward to the new products that Hindash is going to release. I think if you're sitting on the fence wondering whether you should get it, just get it. I think it's a wonderful addition to anybody's makeup collection, be it if you're a beginner to being a professional. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed playing with this palette, and I look forward to creating another video for you guys very soon. All right, bye.